It's dinner time, and I am here to share one of the most beloved Indian dishes on the planet. It is one of those dishes that when you go to restaurants, it's the most ordered thing on the menu. So I want to teach it to you. It's really simple. I've got the oil heating a little bit here just so it's starting, but I want to give you the ingredients. So you're going to need some bay leaves here, not bay leaves, bay leaves. And then you've got mustard seeds. We used these yesterday for the corn. We've got turmeric, which is haldi in Hindi. You'll need a little bit of that. And some coriander and cumin that's combined actually. So if you don't have it combined, you can actually buy this separately. Coriander is one part and the other cumin would be half a part. So you can do that. I have it mixed here. This comes straight from my mom. She makes this at home. So I've got that. You need some salt and some garlic. And we used some coconut milk yesterday. Again, this is the powder. You can just mix it with some water. At the end, lemon juice for garnish. Or you can use fresh lemon, whatever you have. And I have one tomato, a large tomato crushed, so I can walk you through this. So what I have in here is a quarter teaspoon of the mustard seeds and some oil. So as soon as it begins to pop, what you want to do is add some of these leaves and just let that heat up a little bit. And what you'll want to do is once that's heated, you want to add your crushed tomatoes, so you'll get that going. And I usually do this on medium heat just so you don't burn any of the ingredients that you're using. So you're going to cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes, the tomato and the mustard seeds that we've put in. So you just want to cook that. I am going to just let that cook for a bit. I'm just going to make it go a little bit higher than I normally would, just so that I can show you the next steps. What you are going to need to add in here is I forgot the green chili. If you want it to be a little spicy, you can add it. If not, not necessary. So I'm going to just get this ready. You need a little bit of the turmeric. So I would say probably about just less than a quarter teaspoon. You are going to need about a teaspoon of the coriander cumin mix, and so you can use it if you have it mixed. If not, use the two separate, but make sure the coriander is the one part. And you're going to need some salt to taste. So that just depends on how salty you like your dal. I like it a good amount of salt, so I would probably say maybe start out with maybe half a teaspoon, and then at the end, if you feel like it's less, you can always add a little bit. And so you just are going to let this mixture cook. You want to give it about, I would say 3-4 minutes of just curating in there, and I'm going to lower that a little bit. What I did do prior to coming on the live is actually soak the dal. This is it's a red lentil. I don't know if you can see it, but it has an orangey color. You do want to soak this for about half an hour prior to you actually starting the recipe. So I have had it soaking for about 30 minutes. And so once this mixture begins to fry up, you want to give it a little bit of time to get all the spices mixing well in there. So as you are doing that, I'm just going to get the garlic ready. So you need about, I would say, this is fresh garlic. Again, my mom has made this at home. You can use store-bought garlic, or you can crush your own. You can bring fresh garlic. Because of the fact that we're all under self-isolation and trying not to go out, I would suggest use what's in your pantry if you have, or when you're going out for your weekly or bi-weekly shopping, to just add it to your list. So you're going to add about, I would say, maybe half a teaspoon of garlic, and then you're going to let that cook and let it all mix in. So that's happening here. once this is done, in terms of just getting all of the ingredients to mix in, you're going to add your dal, except you're going to take the water out of it and just, let it go into the mixture and stir it up. After, when you do put it in, you're just going to let it stir for a bit. But then you're going to add about, I would say, 2 cups of water, and you're going to let it cook. So that will take about 10 to 15 minutes. You're going to notice that the dal is actually going to turn into mush, and it should be really almost flat. And once that happens, I would suggest adding another half a cup of water and let it cook on slow and on a low heat, and just let it cook some more for probably another maybe 10 minutes. That's when your dal will be done. Now, the coconut that I've got ready here, this is optional. So if you don't want to add that in terms of, maybe you're watching your caloric intake and you don't want to add it, this is completely optional. It will not change, the fact the recipe really will taste this very, very good, even without the cream that I'm going to put in, which is actually coconut powder with water. So that is optional, but I always do it because it's in my mom's recipe, so I do use it, and it gives it a nice creamy taste. It's about a 1/4 cup, so I've added about 2 tablespoons or 1.5 tablespoons of the powder, and then just added warm water and mixed it up. So you use this right at the end, just about 2 minutes before you're just going to turn off the stove. So now the tomatoes are really the oil is actually separating. I know you can't see it, and I will have to get a camera that can go overhead so you can see, but basically you'll notice that the oil will start separating. And once that happens, you want to just add your dal. So you want to take away the water that it's soaking in, and then just put the dal in and just mix it around, let it boil, come to a nice boil, and then add your 2 cups of water. This is where, this is the time that it's going to take to cook it. And like I said, you're going to add half a cup after that so that you can allow it to completely turn into like a flat mush, almost, like a soup, right? So this is just now all in. And I'm going to add 2 cups of water. So let me just get that. And I actually just gauge it, right? Like I'm not measuring it, but it doesn't matter even if it's a little bit more. What you'll let it do is just let it boil and the water will evaporate, right? So I'm going to add a little bit more, which will now, I've put it on medium heat. It's going to boil, and you can taste the salt after it's done the first boil, like in terms of for taste. If you want to add a little bit more salt after, you can. So now I'm just going to leave this, cover it up, and allow it to cook. It's like I said, 10-15 minutes of the boiling, and then you want to turn it down a little bit lower in heat and add about a half a cup, and then allow it to mix into a soup. You can let the water evaporate as much as you want. Like if you want it a bit thicker, I usually leave it a little bit runny because I like it with rice. Now you can serve this with naan or roti or rice. I find rice is my comfort food. So especially if I'm not feeling well or I'm just missing home meaning my mom's. Then I'll have it with rice, a nice bowl of rice. So I'm going to let this cook. You guys, if you have any questions, you can let me know. If you need the recipe in your message, I will also PM it to you if you want. I wish you guys all a wonderful Wednesday. I hope you guys have had an amazing day. And I'll see you again tomorrow when I am actually going to be teaching you how to make a very traditional Gujarati dish with my mom on live. So it's a chicken curry, but it's called kuku paka. And I will tell you how to make that tomorrow because my mom is going to be live with me. So please join me tomorrow at probably, I would say, around between 5:30 and 6, but I will post a time on my Facebook page. So I will see you tomorrow. Be blessed and have a wonderful dinner with your family. Bye.